Hi, I'm Dan with FreshPoint, and I wanted to talk to you today about the basics of peas, beans, and corn. You may be wondering why we chose these. Well, beans and corn are 2/3 of the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is an ancient agricultural practice begun by the natives in Mesoamerica in pre-Columbian times. They would plant the corn, the beans, and the squash all together. The beans would fix the nitrogen back in the soil. The corn would grow for foodstuff and allow the beans and the squash to actually trellis up the corn. So it's just an ancient practice and it just fit together. We'll have a second video just with the squash coming soon. So let's talk about peas first. These are snap peas. English peas are also included in this family, but for this video we're going to focus on sugar snaps and snow peas. They're two USDA grades, US Fancy and US Number 1. Based mainly on physical appearance, uniformity of color, size, and shape. When you get your peas, you want to look for non-wrinkled pods, you want uniform color, and you want a minimum of blossoms on the stem end, which is the end that comes to a point. Now, while the flowers are edible and a wonderful treat, it's indicative of the pod being picked too soon and not allowed to fully mature. With sugar snaps, you want them plump and firm to the touch. You eat these shells and all. You want to keep these cold, in fact as close to 32 degrees as possible. Maintains that wonderful vibrant freshness and crisp texture. Beans, part of the Three Sisters, come in a multitude of colors. We're going to focus on green and yellow today. We have green beans and yellow wax beans. These are the most common snap bean varieties we see. Yellow wax beans are related to green beans. In fact, it's really a green bean that was just selectively bred for the color and allowed to mature to a full yellow state. They're very susceptible to chill damage and they'll show rust spots, both the green and the yellow varieties. So keep them in the medium temperature in your cooler. Don't get them too cold. Certainly don't wash them until you need to use them. And decide if you want snipped or unsnipped green beans. Today we're showing snipped. It's a great labor saver. It increases your yield, and it saves a little time. You really want your beans to be uniform. When you're cooking them, you need them to be the same size so the texture comes out the same. French beans or Haricot Verts don't carry a USDA grade. Green beans and yellow wax beans come in 3 grades, US Fancy, US Number 1, and US Number 2. The French bean or Haricot Vert, interestingly enough, means green bean in English. It's just a smaller variety of green bean. Treat it the exact same way you would your regular commercially grown variety. Don't let it get too cold and only wash it right before use. Last but certainly not least is one of the most popular items on American menus, and that's sweet corn. Sweet corn is a very small percentage of the overall crop in America. Most of the corn grown is for animal feed, for beef production, as well as ethanol production. Your interesting fact about corn, each kernel has a silk attached to it. In fact, each corn plant is both male and female. Corn has a unique challenge. The wonderful sweet corn flavor turns starchy when it's allowed to get hot and warm up. So keep corn right at 32 degrees. In fact, you can top ice it if you need to. That comes with some challenges. Corn comes in 3 grades, US Fancy, US Number 1, and US Number 2. And it does come pre-husked as well. Leaving the corn in the husk actually slows that sugar to starch conversion down, but agronomists have done us an even bigger favor. Through years of selective breeding, they've come up with different varieties of corn, and we now have sweet corn as well as super sweet corn. That just slows that conversion rate so you can enjoy that wonderfully sweet corn flavor year-round. I'm Dan with FreshPoint, and this was the basics of peas, beans, and corn.